Hey, this is Deepak here from digitaldeepak.com and welcome to the day 4 of the 100-day digital marketing course. Today in this lesson, we are going to talk about career goal setting and taking risks. So Sandhya, welcome to day 4.
Thank you, Deepak.
How has been the first 3 days of learning digital marketing from me?
First day was basic digital marketing, knowing a little bit of what digital marketing was. Second day was also fine, like it was easy. Third day it became a little overwhelming, but I think just as you mentioned that, like we'll be learning more about it in the coming days.
Yes. Cool. So today let's talk about goal setting because for any career to grow well, we need to set good goals. And what I'm going to talk about might be a little bit different than the kind of goal setting that people generally talk about. So before talking about our goals and what we want to achieve, first I want to talk about the risk that we are going to take. Are you ready to take risks, Sandhya?
Definitely.
Okay. Cool.
Risk hai to isk hai.
Cool. So whenever we are trying something new, especially in digital marketing, the results are not going to be guaranteed. If there is a way that I could tell you that, hey, if you do all these things, then you will get a job with this much income and you will start a business with this much revenue. It would be very easy for me to motivate you to do digital marketing, right? But the results are not completely guaranteed. And whenever you look at any opportunity where the results are 100% guaranteed, like for example, if you become a doctor, to some extent, it is guaranteed that you will make some decent income. If you become, let's say, a lawyer, to some extent, yes, you can manage because there is a huge barrier of entry like entrance exams and passing and, getting into certain institutions and establishments which are protected. If you become an engineer, it's pretty much guaranteed that you might not amount to anything in life.
But you'll definitely learn Jugaad.
Yeah, you can learn Jugaad, not necessarily because of engineering, but it's just like there are so many engineering colleges in India and everybody is an engineer and I'm also an engineer, right? And there are other fields which are extremely difficult to get into and like for example CA. But if you become a CA or let's say you clear UPSC exam, group 1, group 2, you get selected, you get a government job, bank exam and everything, nothing wrong in following that path. I have huge respect for people who attend UPSC exams, eventually become IAS, IPS and everything. If they have a real passion to serve the country and if they want to become a bureaucrat, they can. But I want to set the expectations and reality straight that any career path which is kind of guaranteed to give you results is going to be extremely competitive, right? It's like you have a roadmap and when the roadmap is very clear, everybody wants to follow that map and the road becomes very crowded. But entrepreneurship and digital marketing is a lot like being in the forest and you don't know exactly how to get out of the forest. You have to make your own way. And if you have to make your own way, you have to do a lot of trial and error. And that is also the beauty in digital marketing, that if you actually go ahead and do something of your own, you will not have so much competition in it because the results are not 100% clear and the results are uncertain. Like for example, I am creating this 100-day course with you. It's a lot of effort in terms of video production, editing, publishing, distribution and everything. And I am not even charging for it. And I'm not 100% sure what will be the results of it. I might make $1 million out of it in the long term, or I might not, right? So considering that there is a risk and I'm doing it anyway, is why not many people are doing something like this. So when you take a path where the results are uncertain, the competition is less, and because the competition is less, there is a higher chance of getting the results.
Yeah.
Because not many people are doing it.
Yeah.
So I would call digital marketing and entrepreneurship and whatever we are doing here as a lottery of efforts, which means that just like, playing, lottery, right? You buy a lottery ticket and you might have 0.1 or 0.01% chance of actually winning, which means that there is a 99.99% that you will lose, but people still buy lottery tickets because they are like, hey, if I win, I will become a millionaire and I will get settled for life, right? So here we are not playing lottery with money where we are actually having a very, very less chance of winning. Here we are doing something called lottery of efforts, where we are putting efforts without questioning, hey, what will I get out of these efforts, right? And India as a country, entrepreneurship is not encouraged a lot, because all our parents and generally the society's mindset is that, hey, go for something safe, go for something secure, and follow like a proven path. But again, as I said, the problem with proven paths is that it's so crowded that your chances of winning reduces. So if you follow a path where you have to play some lottery of efforts, which means that, see, this, I am not spending too much money as much as the time and energy I am putting into this particular course, but it's an effort. And you keep putting multiple different efforts, you will win the lottery, because the chances of winning here might be 10%, 20%. And at the same time, it's not like it's you either win or lose. If you put some efforts, you will get something in return, right? Like Newton's law. For every action, there will be an opposite reaction. I cannot tell you what exactly the reaction will be, because when you start digital marketing, start blogging, start building your personal brand, start content writing and everything, what happens is that serendipity happens. And serendipity is basically, something falls into your lap unexpectedly. Just like I started a motorcycle blog, and suddenly in 2009, I got a chance to visit China. Right? So that was serendipity. I could not have known that, hey, if I keep blogging for 1 year, I will get international trips. There is no way to know that. 4 years of blogging, learning digital marketing, it got me jobs in startups. And the jobs in startups led me to start a business. And the agency which I started led me to start an education company. And from there, I have become a YouTuber right now, right? So one thing leads to another, and the path will not be exactly accurate. And I would also recommend that people can take inspiration from people who have already achieved some success. I also take inspiration from a lot of people, but you don't need to follow their exact path, because what worked for them at that time might not work again. Like what worked for me 10 years ago might not work again. Right? So that way we are going to take inspiration from other people and play our own lottery of efforts, so that we can become an inspiration to other people at some point in the future. And the opportunity is in the uncertainty. Right? I can actually write it down. The opportunity is in the uncertainty. And if things were certain, then there won't be any opportunity. Like for example, let's say Bitcoin. It is very, very uncertain whether Bitcoin will be a safe store of wealth, right? If it has become government approved, all the countries are using Bitcoin, and everybody is like agreeing that, okay, Bitcoin is a safe store of wealth, just like gold. This is digital gold. Then everybody will start investing in it, and before you know it, the price will be so high that you can't even accumulate one Bitcoin in your life. There are 42 million millionaires in the world, and there is only 21 million Bitcoins. And they say that so many Bitcoins has been lost that only around 12 to 15 million Bitcoin is actually in circulation. So right now it is uncertain. And uncertainty is the opportunity. For somebody buying now, yes, there is a lot of risk. But what if somebody just manages to accumulate one Bitcoin, and it eventually comes to a stage where a Bitcoin becomes $1 million, right? Could happen, might not happen. It is still uncertain. By the way, not financial advice, just an analogy, right? So as I said, I don't know what this 100-day course will bring me, and I'm doing it anyway. And what you need to do is that whenever you choose something like this, which is a little bit of a deviation from standard career paths, you need to understand that the joy is in the doing it and in the process, and not in the result of it. If you are expecting some results from content marketing, blogging, building your personal brand, you will be disappointed, because 6 months, 1 year there is a good chance that nothing might happen. But if you keep doing it for a long time, you might get a lot of results out of it, and that is also not guaranteed. So you do it for the sake of doing it and not for the results. And when you do it for the sake of doing it, like I have learned to enjoy doing this with you. Earlier, it was so boring for me to create courses, just looking into the computer, recording. It felt like work. So I found a hack to make courses. Like, just talk to my wife all day, right? And this becomes fun, this becomes easy. And I have optimized the process to a way where I can enjoy doing it. But at the same time, I'm able to do this because I did what I had to do. I made money. I built this office, got these computers, got these cameras, and made myself into a particular routine where I have enough time to do all this, do the editing and everything. So that also takes some time. But once you eventually get into the groove of, hey, I am enjoying what I am doing, then you will do more of it.
Yeah.
And because you do more of it, you will become better at it.
Yeah.
And nobody can compete with you because you are enjoying what you are doing.
Right.
Right?
Right. So I remember like when COVID hit and my exams got postponed, CA final exams got postponed indefinitely. I didn't know what to do next because I couldn't sit and study 18 hours a day like how I was doing for CA final. So I had to distract myself, and I wanted to learn something new other than just the academic books. So I started learning stock market and some personal finance. And then my dad had freshly retired from his job. So I started teaching him.
Oh, wow.
And when I started teaching him, I started learning more. I started enjoying the process because my dad would be watching news and suddenly he'd be like, hey, you remember you told me about this IPO? See, let's watch this news and figure out what's happening. So we got involved, and then I started enjoying the process more because my dad was retired and he started, appreciating my work more, and that gave me more validation and helped me, get better with learning finance.
Fantastic. Because yes, as you said, teaching is one of the best way to learn. And while I am teaching you, I will end up learning so many things because I am doing a little bit of research to teach you. And I will show you some of the research I have done. And the best way to become like an expert is to teach.
Yeah.
Because whatever information that you have in your head is very unstructured. And when you have to teach, you have to put it in a structured way so that the student can understand.
Yeah, exactly.
And when you try to simplify what you have in your mind, it kind of becomes like a foundational understanding on top of which you can build more things.
Yes.
Right? So if you have a building foundation which is like all over the place, the building will not stand on top of it. You need like a solid foundation before you can build a tall building on it. So that is why I call this as a golden triangle. Learn, do and teach. Learn something, do it, develop expertise, and then teach it. And then you will keep building expertise over it. Right?
Agreed. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So that is about risk. So next, let's talk about goal setting. And in terms of goal setting, first I will ask you, can you tell me an example goal that you might have in your mind for this entire learning digital marketing and blogging journey?
All right. So first of all, I'm really happy that I'm learning a new skill, and I'm getting to learn from the best in the country. So what I would like to do with this is I want to set up my blog and make it whatever I'm learning here. I want to keep it very easy for a newbie to understand step-by-step implementation of digital marketing. And it should become so easy for a learner that I should be having at least 1,000 visitors a day and maybe make some money out of it, like a 10 lakh revenue every year.
Okay, nice. So most of the people, when I ask them about their goals, they will say that there will be a financial goal. Hey, I want to make 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs within 1 year, 2 year or something like that. Then they will have some traffic related goals like, hey, I want this many followers for my social media account. I want 1,000 visitors a day to my blog, just like you said. But one important thing to learn about goal setting is that you can only control the input. You cannot control the output. So whenever I set goals in terms of the input. For example, a goal to make 1 crore per year is a wrong way to set the goal because that is not completely under your control.
Okay.
To publish 3 blog posts every week is a good goal to set.
That's in my control, yes.
Yes. So I am building my business. I am doing a lot in my business, but I don't get caught up in always setting goals for the future in terms of the results that I might want to get. Because when I don't get that result or what I am doing does not immediately start producing that result, I will get frustrated. So one of my goals is to create a kick-ass free digital marketing course, which is what I am creating right now. And my goal for this particular 100-day course is to publish 3 videos every week. One on Monday, one on Wednesday, one on Friday. So this is the goal I have set for myself. And this particular input is under my control. How many views these videos will get, how many subscribers my YouTube channel will get, how many future customers will come from this particular course, like for Alpha Club or for the mastery courses, is completely out of my control. But I will keep controlling my input. Make sense?
I mean, this is completely different than what we have been taught right from childhood. Ki goal banao and uske liye kaam karo.
Yes.
Right? Now you are saying that, make goals of your inputs and not just
काम
the
के लिए
output.
गोल बनाओ.
हाँ.
हाँ, कितना काम करना है उसके लिए गोल बनाओ.
Exactly. That's a nice way.
Yeah, so that is one thing that people have to keep in mind. And now let's start talking about creating your online presence, right? You have to build your personal brand and you have to create your online presence if you have to grow as a digital marketer. If you set up your own website or blog, that also becomes the foundation on which you can learn digital marketing, but it also becomes a way to showcase your skills to the world because, as I said, जो दिखता है वो बिकता है, right? The best known will beat the best.
Yeah.
So that way, we need to be starting with thinking about setting up a personal website for yourself. Earlier, if you met someone in a conference, you exchanged business cards, you just had the phone number. But now if you go somewhere to a conference or a meeting or an interview, you give your business card and there is no email ID in your business card, it will look awkward, right? Everybody uses email IDs nowadays. Similarly, not having a personal website and a blog of your own will become awkward 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, because the people who are getting the most amount of results will be the people who are focused on their personal branding. So we have to create a personal website or a blog. So what I am suggesting in this particular 100-day course is that you have to create a personal website and blog where you can talk about life, your hobbies or something like that. It can be a little bit of an experimentation and not everybody needs to do that, but I would recommend that. And here I am ready to help you personally set up your website and blog. So have a personal website and blog, and it could be something showcasing your personality, right? It will be connected to your personal Instagram and Facebook account where you can, share what's happening in your life. What do you believe in? Some of the books that you have read and some of the vacations that you have taken, because people like to know about the personality behind a personal brand.
Right.
Yeah. One of the reasons that this particular 100-day course is performing way better than my previous 100-day course is because you are here. And people like to see, behind the scenes. Okay, Deepak ke personal life mein kya chal raha hai. And you have to keep it professional also. You cannot be too cheesy and posting a picture of what you eat every day is probably not a good idea. How much personal information that you reveal is also something that you have to guard. You cannot expose too much that you actually put yourself under risk of criticism or a personal safety risk. Like for example, I would never reveal where this office is exactly located to my online audience. And I would never reveal where I am living, the exact address of my living, my personal phone number and things like that. I might not reveal, which is fine. But however, slightly showcasing your personal life, maybe you have a pet, you can post the pictures of the pet. A lot of people, have a separate Instagram account for their dog and they post what the dog is up to and things like that. So a little bit of, personal website and blogging is required to show that, hey, this personality is not always about career, business and always like a serious person, right? There is a human side to this person.
Yeah.
Just like if you know a friend, you know a little bit personal details about a friend. So if the online audience has to consider you as a friend, then you need to show your personal life a little bit. Then you need a professional website. And I have put professional website and blog separately. Sometimes it can be on the same domain name. Like for example, digitaldeepak.com will become a professional website for my personal brand, but the blog will also be contained inside that digitaldeepak.com/blog. Right now there is only a blog. So when it comes to a professional website, it's like a LinkedIn page for you. I basically call it a hero page where people can just visit your website and get to know about you. Here you can put client testimonials, client logos, clear professional photo, recent blog posts can be put. And, I will show you some examples of this, of personal brands.
Can you elaborate a little about hero page? What all should you include? Should it just be your professional achievements, where you work?
We will expand this list by looking at some examples because I will be doing research as I am showing you.
Okay.
Right?
Done.
In your personal blog, professional blog, you can either host it on Ghost or WordPress, and you have to talk about industry relevant things. Like for example, if you are becoming a content writer, then let's say you are targeting SaaS companies as clients, then you have to write about top 10 ways that SaaS companies can leverage content marketing.
Yeah.
Right? You can write articles like that, just like Digital Deepak. And one thing you have to understand is that if you are becoming a digital freelancer, which is something that we will talk about a lot in this particular 100-day course, we will also build your personal brand in such a way that you start getting job offers. But I would incline towards becoming a freelancer, because being a freelancer gives you a lot of freedom, and you can scale it into an agency, and then you can eventually become a digital mentor as well.
And I'm more inclined towards becoming a freelancer as well.
Yes. So there's a lot of freedom in being a freelancer. The word free itself is there in the freelancer. But at the same time, sometimes I would like to position it as an agency, because I don't want clients to think that freelancers will work for free.
Yeah. So call yourself a consultant and not a freelancer.
Yeah.
I think I saw this somewhere in one of your videos.
Yeah. So that way, when you set up your professional blog, you have to note that initially when you start writing articles which might be attractive to your clients, you might not necessarily attract new traffic to your blog via the content marketing that you do. You can post YouTube videos, you can write articles on your blog, but it will attract very little new traffic because you are just getting started. However, if you are reaching out to a client via cold outreach, email and stuff like that, then you will be able to build some level of authority with the client, because the client will come and check out your website.
Exactly, yes.
So let's say we create a professional website, something like sandhya.com, right? And you are sending a mail from email@sandhya.com to a potential client. The client will definitely come and check out sandhya.com. And when they check out the website, you have client testimonials, very well designed page, and then you have a bunch of articles related to that particular client's industry. The client is more likely to give you the project than sending the mail from, let's say, Sandhya 12/01/1999 @gmail.com, right?
Yeah.
It will look very unprofessional. So that we will look into. And I will also talk about email newsletter, social media presence and community. But now, are you excited to look at some kick-ass examples of professional website with hero pages?
Yeah, that will be great. It will give me some idea about how I can design my own page, right?
Yes, and we will also come back to this particular mind map and start adding new ideas here. So what I have done is that I have done a little bit of research and opened up around 10 to 12 personal brand websites. So the first website that we are going to have a look at is Tony Robbins, and this is one of the biggest personal brands out there. Tony Robbins is like $500 million worth. Just developed his personal brand as a trainer, mentor. And here you can see on the top bar, you have like a phone number and a bunch of social media links. You also have a language selector and login for existing users. We have guide, mission, events, programs, coaching, shop, resources. So it takes a long time to build a personal brand, and you have so many things built around you. But this kind of gives us an idea that where we will eventually land up in. So featured in, and putting a bunch of logos is important, so that we can add. Featured in section with a bunch of logos. So your professional website, it's a hero page. So I will put like a personal photo, and it could kind of refresh every time as well, or it can be in a slider, because people are very visual. As soon as they look at the website, if they see a bunch of professional photos of you standing on a stage and addressing an audience, or you are in a TEDx talk, or you have like your YouTube video, one screenshot there, all this is going to help. So professional photo, navigation bar. So some people put it on the top of their website, some people put it on the bottom. So in the navigation bar, you will have, shop, you will have events, you can say consulting, if somebody wants to hire you as a consultant, guide, mission, events, programs, coaching.
Resources or blog maybe?
Resources may you have blogs, podcasts and everything. So you can say resources. Inside the resources, we can have blog, podcast, YouTube. What else is there?
Book recommendations. If you
Apps,
are a newbie, then you can
tools.
add book summaries.
Yeah. Apps, tools. Not apps, the app, right? Which is like, I think he has a Tony Robbins app.
Okay.
So we can have, book, recommendations. I have seen some people put a section called Mild Toolkit, which is all the tools that they use as a creator, the cameras and stuff like that. They also put an affiliate link to Amazon on top of that. So what else do we have? Coaching, programs, events. It's kind of overlapping. Sometimes events are coaching events, programs are also coaching. So we will get back to that and refine it a little bit later, because we are at a very early stage of building the personal brand. And here, there can be a message, a very clear message. Message can come below the featured section.
And the message will consist of?
Something that you have to tell to the world. Like, for example, I would talk about deep marketing framework and things like that. Yeah. So here you have, some photo gallery, mission. We don't need to replicate exactly like that. Success stories or client testimonials I have added. So success stories or client, I will call it client results. Image gallery. Photo we have covered. And then the examples is what we are looking at. So here you can see upcoming events, read, watch, listen. And yeah, I think this should be enough. Like, we can come and refer back to this as we grow the personal site. A basic personal site, when we just get started, like you are not doing events or you are not such a strong personal brand yet, you might not be doing offline events or any programs or coaching yet. So that things we can add later. Let's have a look at Gary Vee's personal website. Kind of a different layout. Here you can see, there is about section about Gary Vee, what he does and all his businesses. He is a co-founder of a bunch of companies, and he is chairman and CEO of a bunch of companies, which includes VaynerMedia, Commerce, Speakers. I mean, this guy is a serial entrepreneur. And here you can see he's a co-founder. He is the creator of something called VFriends, which is an NFT project, and there is a email newsletter sign up. So that is something we have to add, which is newsletter sign up form. Let's look at what he has here. So story, press kit, events, books, contact, kind of similar. So story is important. He has put it in a different layout, very nicely put. And if you go here, shows, podcast, blog, social highlights, wallpapers, search engine. I think wallpapers is kind of cool, that fanboys will basically download the wallpaper for the mobile phone. So he has created a bunch of wallpapers, and this is the NFT project he has. And then contact. So contact is very important, because if people want to reach out to you, you need them to contact you. So that's it. And then social media links. So I will add that also. Social media links is what we found in Tony Robbins' website as well. So this is Gary Vee's website. Then we see another website by Mary. Similar, you have blog, courses, podcast, about, and more section. And then there is free training. I think free training is where she collects the name and email ID, which is like a newsletter sign up. You can see that pretty much everybody is collecting name and email ID. This is right below the hero section, where she has put like, bunch of appearances and everything here. I'm Marie, and photos with people who are like influential in the industry helps a lot with branding by association, right? I could see Damon John's picture here. She was in a podcast with him, or maybe, so instant authority you get. About me section, hey, I'm this. So that could be the message. So if you're too famous like Tony Robbins, it could be a message. For somebody who is not too famous, then it could be about me, so that people can get to know about them. There is some courses featured. Featured section, you might have seen me on. As I said, we already added that. That adds a lot of credibility.
For newbies, I think if they don't have any featured things, right, they could just put it as the clients that they have worked with.
Yes, exactly. And then you can see all the pictures that she has had with other people, and then about section, new here, free tools, all that we have covered earlier. So remaining, we will just quickly skim through it. Nicholas Kumish, so he has put his book and get a copy of my brand new book give. So get the book. If I click on it, I think it will go to Amazon.
Or maybe they'll collect your lead.
Yes, it goes to Amazon. A lot of these things go to Amazon. So you can add your book on your landing page. So featured book. There can also be a section called books in the navigation bar. That could be added. And here you can see it's a direct call to action, probably to his call booking page or application page.
And I think publishing book has become quite easy. And
Nowadays,
Nowadays, with the Amazon Kindle publishing course that you had launched.
Yes.
I think a lot of your students have launched their books.
Yeah. So we could even think of publishing a book for you as you build your personal brand in this 100-day digital
I'd
marketing
love that.
course itself. Cool. So what I do or about me section, it could be about me message, or we could call it what I do, right? So this is what I do section, some social proof here, what he has achieved.
Nice colors, this website.
I actually like this website more than the other websites because it's kind of minimalist, not too much on the eye. Here you can see, I think this section leads to, again, this particular page. We'll go back. It's a work with me section. Testimonials, who I have helped, what people are saying. Oh, I can see Ryan Diaz here. So all these well-known names, and then privacy policy, terms of use, disclaimer is on the footer. So I will also add a footer section here. This is something that you need to add. So privacy policy, disclaimer.
What comes in privacy policy? Like something like you cannot copy my blogs or something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then terms of use, copyright information. Oh, copyright, correct.
Copy RIGHT. It's just RIGHT.
I get confused for the simplest of the spellings
Happens.
sometimes. So yeah, then we have this particular website, podcast, Learn from Mel, about speaking. Latest podcast, he has featured it on the header. As seen on, we keep seeing that as seen on section. So that is something that has to be added. This seems to be his bunch of products he has featured here. Who is Mel Abraham. So some people call it who am I, some people call it what I do, some people write it in the third person, who is Mel Abraham. His latest videos pulled in from YouTube channel, that could be like latest blog posts.
These are all Instagram posts, I think, on top of that. Yeah, Insta inspiration.
Yeah. Some of Instagram posts pulled in. Testimonials, very important. His book featured here, and then his social media links. So very similar. And then there is an exit pop-up, right? So I will also add this exit form for you can collect email IDs from the exit form.
Okay.
And then you have JJ Virgin all over the place, too bright colored. But again, you see newsletter, as seen on, about, products, testimonials, podcast, and everything. I love this website. Just the face and hey, I am. That's it. On the front page, top fold. And then my journey, a bunch of things, basically like his resume, his system, and social media links. Little bit different. not too clear in terms of messaging, maybe fancy in terms of design.
Yeah.
I would not recommend doing that where you go
And
too
the
fancy on the design.
yeah, and the font also looks very code-ish.
Non-readable, yeah.
Yeah.
So here you can see this particular website. It changed my mouse also. It looks like a target now. And unfolding endeavors, present and future. What does it even mean? I don't know. Very fancy, very different. Maybe called as creative, but I can't understand what Martin Myrap is up to, what she is an expert in. I can't see her photo. Let's go and check her CV. She has given her entire CV here, but again there is not a single photo. Yeah, I can see a photo here, but she is not even looking into the camera. So yeah, not one of the best ones. I like this one, Taylor Wowell. I leverage marketing and technology to achieve sustainable growth, and he is a performance marketer. About me section, schedule on Zoom, connect on LinkedIn. Not too many social media links, and his experience of what he has worked on, his skills.
Oh, nice.
Performance marketing, product marketing, growth marketing, marketing technology, marketing automation, email marketing, SEO, social media. So all the keywords that we are going to cover in this course. Strengths, he has put very nice design. As usual, client testimonials, portfolio. And yeah, it seems to be a little bit longer, but I like this. Connect on LinkedIn, schedule a call on Zoom. Just 2 social media links and not to overwhelm with Insta, Twitter and all those things. This particular design is very good. He's a designer himself. So you can see his experience, what he is good at, some of his, I think, work he has displayed here. So branding, colorful website design, logo design, so all that he has shown. Professional awards, testimonials as seen on, certifications, contact. Different, but it still could be a little bit lighter, seems a little bit heavy. This seems very futuristic, not very readable. Christian Kaiserman, based in Berlin. I can see that my mouse has changed. Resume, email, Twitter, LinkedIn. Kind of like this. It's a nice one.
Kind of scary though.
Yeah, it's like very futuristic, some retro futurism types. Side Hustle Nation, it looks like a fully fledged website. But yeah, hi, I'm Nick. Featured on website, newsletter, social media links. Simple and short. This one, not much to talk about. I don't like when the mouse changes. Not so much. And this also looks too futuristic. Can't understand anything. There is some music also. Yep. So these are the examples of different personal brand websites that are there, and this is how your professional website should be. So in fact, we have covered a lot about how to create a professional website, and this is something that we will start working on from the next video. We will first have to choose a domain name for it. So we'll find what domain name we can create for you, for your personal brand, and then we will see whether we can put the blog inside it or put the blog outside it on a separate domain name. When you are setting up a blog, you can either set it up on Ghost or WordPress, and that is also something that I will explain in the future videos. You also need to create your email newsletter and a lead magnet. You need to create your social media presence. You need to create your community. And most important of all, before you create your online presence, we need to have a discussion on what niche are you going to target to put yourself out there and to learn digital marketing and to position yourself as an expert digital marketer so that in the future you can start getting clients and job opportunities. So we'll discuss that about that in the next lesson, and eventually start creating your professional website. So this kind of gives us a little bit of direction on how the next 10 days is going to go. It might be very difficult for me to create a 100-day course outline right now because we will take it along the flow. So any other doubts, Sandhya?
I think good to go for today.
Okay. So thanks a lot, and I will see you in day 5.
I'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.